Now, the latest crash test results from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. This test is a little different from some of the other ones we've shown you, but it's the kind of crash that's all too common, causing millions of injuries each year and costing insurance companies and you billions of dollars. Here's Chief Consumer Correspondent Lee Thompson with the Dateline Consumer Alert.
Northbound along 395 had a fender bender on the approach to the 95, now closed.
It's rush hour. Stop and go traffic. The perfect scenario for a rear-end crash. Whether it occurs on the road or it's simulated like this, it causes the most often reported injury, whiplash. More than 2 million cases a year.
The body is thrown forward. That forces the head backward. That can strain muscles and ligaments in the neck, which can cause pain.
Dr. Rafael Lopez, an orthopedic surgeon at George Washington University Hospital, says while most whiplash injuries are minor, in rare cases, some can be serious.
It could be a very severe fracture or dislocation, which can cause paralysis and even death.
To help prevent whiplash, federal law requires every vehicle must have head restraints. The problem is many people don't have a clue that's what they're there for. Some are fixed, they're part of the seat, but most are adjustable. And if you don't put them in the proper position, you may have no protection at all. It's sort of like having a seatbelt, but not buckling up.
What you've got to do is to make sure that the head restraint is adjusted for you.
Adrian Lund of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says the restraint needs to be high enough so it catches the middle of your head.
And make sure that it's reasonably close to the back of your head so that the head doesn't have to move too far before you get some support.
But it's not just the head restraint that helps protect you from whiplash. The seat makes a difference, too.
You've stripped these seats down to make a point.
That's right. What you see is it's a very fancy seat, but the problem is it's also got some very stiff elements in the back here.
Lund says that stiffness could jolt your body forward, causing your head to snap back too fast. In contrast, the Ford Freestyle design is flexible.
It's a strong frame, but in here, it's pretty soft. It allows the body to sink back in and makes it easier for your neck to bring your head along until it's supported by the head restraint.
Whiplash injuries cost insurance companies $8.5 billion a year, costs ultimately passed along to consumers. To find out which seats work best, the Institute, which is funded by the insurance industry, has designed a test hoping to convince manufacturers to produce better seats and head restraints. The Institute says this test is not perfect. It might not cover the tallest or shortest drivers. It simulates a 20-mile-per-hour crash between two vehicles of the same weight. Lund says the test is more severe than the federal standard, and it's showing good designs can really make a difference. 15 new pickup trucks and 44 new SUVs were recently tested and rated.
We had only 6 out of the 44 SUV models that we tested which got a good rating, and none of the pickups got a good rating.
So which SUVs were rated the best? That Ford Freestyle, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Honda Pilot, and the Land Rover LR3, as well as the Subaru Forester and the Volvo XC90. 3 other SUVs and 3 pickups were rated acceptable, 1 step down. All the rest got the Institute's lowest ratings, marginal or poor.
One has to wonder whether this test is too tough.
Well, clearly the test isn't too tough because we do have some seats that are doing a good job. But manufacturers need to design the seats to do well.
We heard from the makers of some of the vehicles included in this test, and they pointed out that all vehicles sold today must meet government standards for whiplash protection. They also told us they're not convinced the Institute's test accurately reflects the real world, especially because many of these seats can be adjusted for better performance. Remember, the key to getting the most protection out of your seat is to properly adjust the head restraint. The top of the restraint should be even with the top of your ears, and it should be close as possible to the back of your head. For more tips and the full results of this test, visit our website at dateline.msnbc.com.